today's secrets are being revealed from behind the curtain. The Chinese leader Mao Zedong said to prepare 9 bullets for the traitors and only 1 bullet for the enemy. And today, it's clear that President Xi Jinping has started to implement this advice now, and with full strictness, even with his closest associates. A terrifying purge campaign is taking place inside the Chinese army, with mass arrests that have targeted the heads of all sensitive institutions. And today's reports about a failed military coup inside China almost turned the balance of the world upside down again. Why now? Has President Xi started cleaning and purging his inner circle in preparation for 0 hour? Why is the arrest of President Xi's right-hand man considered conclusive evidence that this date is approaching, the date of decision? We will talk about all of this today, even if briefly. Stay with us. Dear viewers, peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings, and welcome to our renewed meeting today, God willing, in this episode of the Opinions series, which we dedicate starting from this shocking news that was revealed just today. The news talks about foiling a military coup attempt in China, which aimed to overthrow the Chinese president, Xi Jinping. The information received so far indicates that the coup plot in China was scheduled to take place on the night of January 18, which means we are talking about more than a week ago. It was planned to arrest the Chinese president while he was at the government hotel, the place where the Chinese president stays. But the Chinese president received the details of this operation in time. So he left the hotel before that time, and immediately after he issued orders to arrest 2 people. 2 people were at the head of this coup attempt. Who are these 2 people? Here comes the surprise. The 2 people were among the closest to the Chinese president. We're talking about the chief of the general staff of the Chinese army, named Liu Chenli, and the second person is the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, which means the deputy of Xi Jinping, named Zhang Yuxia. The signs of this incident appeared about 2 days ago, when the 2 people were arrested and when the investigation began with them, but on other charges related to committing serious violations of discipline, including leaking sensitive information. There was no talk about any failed coup attempt, but afterwards many international media outlets revealed that the real reason was orchestrating the failed coup attempt today, so that everyone knows how serious this incident is. President Xi Jinping, he holds 3 major positions in China. He is, of course, the President of the People's Republic of China, but he is also the General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, which rules China today. He is the real ruler in China, and he is also the Chairman of the Central Military Commission. And this commission can be considered, let's say, as the equivalent of the National Security Council for China, but only regarding military affairs. It's specific to military matters. It is the highest military authority in China. It directly oversees all branches of the Chinese forces, the Navy, the Air Force, the Missile Forces, the Space Forces, and so on. This commission is the one that determines the level of nuclear deterrence, studies war scenarios, manages the Taiwan issue today, and sets the level of confrontation with the United States. We are talking about extremely sensitive issues that are on the table of this commission. We are talking about a very important commission that shapes the future of China and perhaps the future of the entire world. The person who was involved in this coup attempt and is currently under investigation holds the position of vice president in this commission. This is so that everyone understands the level of danger. This means all the military and nuclear secrets of this country. China was in the hands of this involved general today. Today, the news about the coup attempt is not yet confirmed because there are investigations and a great deal of secrecy about the information inside China. It has not yet been officially announced by the Chinese government. The matter is just media reports that came from some international media outlets revealing details of this coup attempt. But despite that, what we know for sure now is what? And officially, the confirmed news is the arrest of this official along with the commander of the Chinese army for investigation into a number of cases. This is confirmed news and has been officially acknowledged, meaning it happened officially and came out of China. But they are talking about other cases. They are involved in other issues. The most important of which is leaking information to America about the Chinese nuclear program and the nuclear weapons that China possesses. I mean, even if there wasn't an attempted coup, we're talking about the most important thing in this topic in this episode: high treason by the second man in China, from the right-hand man of the Chinese president. I mean, imagine how serious this is for the right-hand man of a president of any country to be a traitor and an agent for America. This means that America knows every little detail in this country, knows the future plans, knows the level of power you have, your strengths and weaknesses, and knows the concerns you are living with today. This suggests China was infiltrated at the highest levels for decades. Did it actually happen? It's impossible to know for sure right now. The investigation is still ongoing. What everyone needs to know is that for a while now, China has been waging a fierce internal war against corruption, carrying out a wide-ranging purge within all government institutions, both civil and military. Why? Because it knows very well how dangerous corruption is. It knows that a corrupt official who, for example, embezzles state funds or the funds of an institution will surely be the first to betray the country in a critical moment. China launched a wide-ranging purge campaign years ago, but this happened gradually. Today, it has reached a very high level. The goal of this campaign is to ensure the complete loyalty of all officials to China and to the Chinese president, meaning absolute loyalty in critical moments. Imagine with me that since 2012 until today, meaning since Xi Jinping took power in China, more than 200,000 officials have been punished on charges of corruption. That means we're talking about a 13-year period. 200,000 government officials in China have been punished on charges of corruption, which is a huge number. Among them were ministers and top leaders in the army. So the level of corruption in China made President Xi rely on people close to him, from his family and personal acquaintances, for these sensitive positions. But despite that, it's clear that even his closest associates today could also fall into the trap of corruption. The media is talking about, in addition to being involved in leaking sensitive information, there are arms deals that this official, Zhang Yuxia, made with the chief of the general staff, meaning they received bribes in order to buy these weapons. The important thing is, no matter what is happening in China today, it confirms only one thing. It confirms that China is preparing for what is coming, preparing for a major confrontation ahead. It wants to ensure complete loyalty to itself internally. I mean, at the decisive moment, it doesn't want there to be any divisions or traitors from within the core sensitive government institutions, like the military, energy, security, military industries, and so on. The leader of the Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, said it decades ago. You should prepare 9 bullets for traitors and only 1 bullet for the global enemy. He always repeated that the internal danger from traitors and what is called the fifth column is more dangerous than the external enemy. The external enemy cannot win unless there are traitors on the inside. That's why the current Chinese president, perhaps taking this advice from the historic leader Mao Zedong, is preparing today for the great battle. And just as there is military preparation, nuclear preparation, technological preparation on the logistical level, and so on, there is also internal preparation, cleansing the inside from traitors and corruption. Today, China sees that what happened in Venezuela, what happened in Iraq before that, what happened in Iran, in Russia, and in many other countries, could be repeated in China during critical moments. Maybe this Chinese move really has nothing to do with an attempted military coup. It could just be a preemptive action aimed at removing anyone who has reached a certain level of internal influence. He threatens China from inside at a crucial moment. Maybe through betrayal, maybe by coming out as opponents who oppose the idea of confrontation, meaning confrontation with America. Because today the only question being asked in China is, when will the process of annexing Taiwan begin? Many Chinese are asking, when will Taiwan's annexation start? It's been the talk of everyone. For a long time, China has been conducting military exercises. For a long time, it has been moving militarily, conducting maneuvers surrounding the island of Taiwan, besieging the island of Taiwan. Every time you see this military movement, what do? Of course, you mobilize your military forces and believe that there is indeed an imminent military attack. China is playing on this exact point psychologically, making the Taiwanese always live in fear and terror. At the same time, China makes the world get used to these movements as if they are normal. But at any moment, they might not be normal anymore. I mean, a day will come, and maybe that day is getting closer. A day will come. China will launch a full-scale military operation to annex Taiwan, and everyone will think it's just regular military drills like before. Until the world is surprised that in just a few hours, all the Taiwanese government institutions will be under control. That means everyone should pay attention to this point. China is preparing and always keeps all preparations ongoing until the decisive moment comes, and that decisive moment will come. And it will be determined exactly by President Trump when he might get involved in a major conflict that will occupy America. And it will make her focus only on this conflict. She will have no time or power to intervene in other areas like Taiwan and so on. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Peace be upon you and goodbye.